You're going to label it page 42 inside your journal. Today's date is 11/7/17, and then you're going to label 43 on the outside upper corner as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And if you remember yesterday, we talked about taking a unit rate, creating a table, and writing an equation. And we talked about writing an equation. It's a y, an equal sign, a unit rate times x. So don't forget that when we are completing our lesson for today. So let's go to what is the relationship between tables, graphs, and rates. So whenever you look at your input-output table right here, this is like your chart, okay? Your input is your x, which is hours. Your output is your y, which is miles. Those create ordered pairs. So your first one is going to be the x is 1 and your y is 60. The second one is going to be 2 for your x and 120 for your y, and so on. So the unit rate is 60 miles per hour, and that's listed right here, 60 miles per hour. The equation would be y is equal to 60x. You use the unit rate as your constant rate of change. You might also see that your x is an h, and your y might be called m for miles. It's the same thing, except for now they would say m is equal to 60h. So they're using the variables that go with the story. Hours is your x, so this is going to be your x right here. Miles is your y, so that is going to be right here. So miles goes vertically, hours goes horizontally. So this is y, and then this is x. When you go to graph your ordered pair, you first have to go and do your x. You have to walk to the elevator before you go up or down. So I'm going to start at the origin, and I'm going to go over one place to 1, and then you're going to go up, and you're going to make your dot right here at 160. So I'm going to put a dot right there. Then you're going to come on over to 2 for your x. You're going to go to the right 2 spots, and you're going to go, so you go to the right 2, then you're going to go up, and you're going to put a dot right there. Actually, I'm going to redo that because I don't like that. So what you're going to do is you are going to go over 2, and then you're going to go up to 120. So then that is going to be your dot right there. So now for the next ordered pair, you have x is 3, so you're going to go over 3, and then you're going to go up to 180. That's going to be your next dot right there. The next point that you're going to have is you're going to go over to 4, and then you're going to go up to 240. So you graph your x first along the horizontal line, then you go ahead and you graph your y. You go up to the y. Is this a constant rate of change? Yes. Whoops, need to make that smaller. So now we're asking ourselves, is this a constant rate of change? So this is a constant rate of change, yes. What you drew was a straight line, and it goes through the origin. So whenever I look here, this straight line continues through this point right here. That's the origin right there. It goes through the origin, and it is a straight line. So it's got to do both things in order for it to be a constant rate of change. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a look at the bottom left problem. It's during a big storm, 8 inches of rain fell in 4 hours. So the first thing we have to figure out is our unit rate. So if we have 8 inches over 4 hours, that's going to be equal to 2 inches over 1 hour. So after we find our unit rate, we're going to write our equation. It's y equals mx. That's the algebraic term. M is going to be your constant or your unit rate of change. It's a constant rate of change. So y is going to equal 2x. So now we need to figure out our table. If the input is 1 hour, your output or your y is going to be 2 because 1 times 2 is 2. Then, if I input my x is 2, 2 times 2 is going to be 4. 2 times 3 is going to be 6. And then if I have 4 hours, I'm going to get 8 inches of rain. So my unit rate is 2 inches per hour. Okay? So whenever I go to graph, I look at my graph, and this is my x, and then this is my y. Okay? So what I have to do is I'm going to go over and I'm going to graph. This is an ordered pair. This is like 1, 2. If my x is 1, I'm going to go up to 2, and I'm going to put a dot right there. Then I'm going to go over for my hours. That's my x is my, is my hours. This is hours. Sorry, it's harder to write. And then my y is going to be rainfall. Okay, that's rainfall. Sorry, it's hard to write there. So then I'm going to look at my 2 hours on my x. We're going to go over to 2, then we're going to go up to 4, and you're going to make a dot where the 2 intersect. Then I'm going to go over 3 hours to the right, and I'm going to go up to 6 hours. Then I'm going to continue to the right 4 hours all the way over here. Then I'm going to go up to 8 hours. Okay, then I'm going to come and you're going to connect the dots and make a straight line. You're going to have an arrow at each end. So, is this a constant? Is the rate constant? Is the graph linear? And that is going to be yes. Again, it's a straight line. And it goes through the origin. Okay? What's the unit rate? Again, that's going to be right here. Our unit rate is right here. 2 inches per hour. And then what's our equation? That's up here. Y is equal to 2x. Okay, now we're going to do this problem that's in the bottom right. If the cost of gas is $8 for 2 gallons, what is the unit price? If you feel comfortable and you want to go ahead and you want to try this one on your own, pause the video, go ahead and do it, and then you can watch the video to see if you got it correct, and you can follow along. If the cost of gas is $8 for 2 gallons, what is the unit price? So you first have to set up your rate. So we have $8 for 2 gallons. So our unit rate is going to be $4. It's $4 per gallon. Okay? So our equation is going to be y is equal to 4x. Let me go ahead and erase that, sorry. It's a little bit hard to see. Try that one again. It's equal to 4x. You might see it where gallons is your x and cost is your y. So it might be C is equal to 4. Your cost is equal to 4 times the number of gallons. Okay? So sometimes they switch the variables and they match them for the letters that go along with the story. This is your x for gallons, and then this is your cost, which is y. Now, if we look here, the equation. Okay, so we're going to go here, and the equation is cost is equal to 4 gallons. So I'm going to substitute. The work is going to be, I have to take the 2, which is my gallons, and substitute it in for the G that's in your equation. So I'm going to take my unit rate of 4, and I'm going to multiply it by 2 to get 8. So my ordered pair is 2, which is my G, and my cost, which is C, which is 8. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my unit rate 4. That's not changing. That's constant. My gallons, or how many gallons I have, is what's changing. 4 times 4 is going to give me $16. So my new ordered pair is 4.16. Now I'm going to take that constant rate of 4 and I'm going to multiply it by my new G and get 24, which is my cost. My ordered pair is going to be 6.24. Then I'm going to take my constant rate, or my unit rate, multiply it by my new G, which is 8. 4 times 8 is going to give me $32. So I'm going to have 8.32. So now I've got to come on over to the graph and graph it. So I have my ordered pairs. I've got 2. So I'm going to go along the X, that is my gallons, and I'm going to go to 2. Then I'm going to go up to 8, and I'm going to plot to 8. Now I'm going to plot 4.16. So I've got to go over to the right to 4 for the number of gallons. Then I'm going to go up to the cost of 16 and place a dot there. Then I'm going to go over to the right 6 gallons, and I'm going to go up to 24 and put a dot. You put the dot right where your lines cross. Then I'm going to go over 8 gallons to the right. Then I'm going to go up to $32. Then you're going to take and you're going to connect the dots with a straight line. And you want to extend the line and put arrows on the end. So you can see that it is a linear equation. It is a constant rate of change because it's a straight line and it goes through this origin. If I have to predict the cost for 25 gallons, my G is now equal to 25. So I'm going to take my cost, multiply 4 by 25, and my cost then is going to be $100. So I have a cost of $100 because I substituted. That's how I'm making the prediction.